Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Life for Great podcast show. This is your host, Fulfillment Obi. Do you ever have this uneasy feeling when you think about the end of your journey? Like, what will all these things you've been chasing result to in the end? What is its meaning? What is its significance? How does it impact the world? What will be done with all you've acquired and achieved? Well, just like smoke, it will vanish away. But there's a way to live an impactful life that will give you joy, peace, and fulfillment when you arrive at the end of your journey. Knowing you never wasted time, but you sowed seed that will remain relevant for generations to come. So I want to follow me to the end of this episode where we talk about the smoke effect. Let's get started.
Warning, radioactive zone detected. Please enter with Duende mode. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Okay, let me tell you a story about a watch worth 30 million USD. I saw a post on Facebook about the timepiece and how it is different from just an ordinary watch. And after a little research, I find out that the most expensive timepiece cost about $30 million. This is what came to my mind. It's just an object. Yes, just an object. Though it took years to create, but it doesn't have life. In fact, some people don't even think they are worth more than some few $1,000s, and they live anyhow, engaging in risky venture that can end their life at any time. But an object is treasured more than a human life. Why am I bringing this up? It is because a lot of people are busy chasing after smoke at the expense of their life, calling, purpose, and their destiny. Now, this will bring me to the question, what are smoke? Smokes are glorified objects and material things that people take as an icon for wealth and prestige, but in reality have no significance to their life. You can own a Rolls Royce and still feel empty. You can have $1 million and still be depressed because these things are nothing but smokes. The most painful thing is that most people spend their whole life chasing after things only to arrive at the end of the journey to find out that it's nothing but smoke and it is meaningless. Their life has made little or no impact and they have swayed from their destinies because of the deceptive pull of material wealth. Here's the story of Solomon. Solomon was one of the most wealthiest kings of all time because he was blessed by God. Everything Solomon desired he had, everything he saw he collected. The Bible recorded that silver was worthless in Solomon's time because of how wealthy he was. But at the end of his journey, he found out that everything he has worked so hard for was nothing but smoke, as recorded in the scriptures. Even the next generation could not handle his wealth. It was squandered and looted. That's so sad. We're going to talk about some few characteristics of the smoke. This will help us to understand how dangerous they can be. Number one, smoke can blind your vision. It is impossible to have a clear vision when you're busy chasing smoke. This is because smoke will pull you away from your destiny, from your vision. It will make you chase after something different. And at the end of the day, you find out that you were deceived. Number two, smoke can lead you to the wrong destination and bring you to the wrong path. So what smoke does is that once you are deceived, it makes you tread the wrong path and it will bring you to the wrong destination. And that's why a lot of people who chase after smoke end up regretting at the end of their life. Number three, you can die early because of smoke. You will live an unfulfilled life and may die early when you're chasing after smoke. There are people who have dedicated their life to chase after material wealth. They are willing to do whatever it takes, even if it's to engage in crime, drugs, or whatever it is, just to get those material wealth. At the end of the day, most of them end up dying young. Number four, smoke can choke you. It can turn bitter and bring pain and heartbreak. Yes, smoke can be very choking. You might be enjoying the evil you've done and how you've getting your material wealth the wrong way. But these things can turn bitter, they can choke you, and they can make life very uncomfortable. Chasing smoke the wrong way can lead you to a dangerous part or point in life where you begin to regret, unable to correct the mistakes you've made so far. Number 5, smoke brings you the feeling of emptiness and helplessness. A lot of people who have been chasing smoke for the rest of their life or all their life always regret and have this feeling of emptiness or helplessness. I know you don't want to be the person in that state or in that situation, so you should not chase smoke because the tendency of feeling empty and helpless is very high. Number 6, smoke is deceptive. As I said from the beginning of this podcast, that smoke can be very deceptive. It can push you into the wrong path to do the wrong stuff, and you will get the wrong result. Lastly, the world celebrates those who chase after smoke. That is how the world operates today, because people only want to see how prosperous you are, how much money you have, if you have the latest ride, if you're wearing the most expensive clothes, if you've collected the most expensive object. And once you have all these things on check, the world will celebrate you. But just because some people are celebrating you does not mean that you're doing the right stuff or your life is impactful. So do not chase after smoke because people are celebrating those who chase after smoke. So here's a couple of things you can do instead of chasing smoke. Number 1, live a life of purpose. Like I've always said in this podcast, having or identifying your purpose is priceless. It will change everything about your life. If you don't know how to discover your purpose, I think you should go over to a previous podcast episode. We've talked about this a lot. I've even interviewed some top leaders and guests that will give you a guide on how you can find and identify your purpose. Number 2, don't live for yourself alone. A lot of people are very selfish. They live for themselves alone. They just want to convert all the wealth, all the money, all the resources for themselves alone. This will only bring you to tragedy. You want to live a life whereby you'll be able to impact the life of others. You'll be able to help other people actualize their purpose and their destinies and their dream. Living like this will bring you fulfillment, and you'll see that your life is a life of impact. Number 3, impact the life of others. That's where you'll be happy you contributed to humanity. Number 4, leave a legacy behind. A lot of people do not leave any legacy behind. The only thing they leave behind is some material wealth here and there, some assets here and there, which will be squandered or mismanaged when they're gone. When I'm talking about a legacy, I'm talking about leaving something tangible behind that will run from generation to generation, something that you'll be celebrated for. Those who leave a legacy behind are known as legends, and they are forever celebrated. For example, Mother Teresa and the rest of these people who live their life only to help build humanity and to solve problems for other people. So you want to live a life of legacy. Lastly, don't live for material wealth. Use it as a means to fulfill your destiny. Don't just live for material wealth. A lot of people have sacrificed their life to live for what they can get, what they can eat, and how much money they can make in the rest of their life. That is the worst way to live. You want to live a life of impact. You want to use material wealth to fulfill your destiny. You don't want to be a slave to money. So if you can do these things, I believe that you will be able to live a life of substance, not just chasing after smoke. Okay, before I leave you, I want you to understand this, that those who chase after smoke for the rest of their life or with their whole life are forever forgotten. But those who work for something tangible have their name written in the sands of time, and they are never forgotten. Well, I want to believe that this podcast has really bring you another perspective about life. I want to believe that it have helped you upgrade your life. And if that's the case, I would love you to go over to iTunes and give us the 5-star review and to share this episode to as many people as you can. can. Also, I would love you to leave a donation, as this will help us to keep the podcast going. If you check the link in the description of this podcast, you'll find out that you have an option to subscribe to our newsletter. Subscribing to our newsletter will give you the option to get top articles and exclusive episode that will be very valuable to your life. So just go over to the description and click those links. That will really help you. And saying all this, I'm going to leave you here. So stay empowered, stay blessed, and live a life of purpose.
Join us again next time when we will be back with more tips, techniques, and cheats to achieve the rewards that you deserve. Thank you so much for your time today. And please set your podcatcher so that you never, ever miss us. Bye for now. And thanks so much for listening.